Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Madrid news episode. We have some interesting stories to dive into. First of all, Real Madrid losing to Barcelona. Second of all, Xavi Alonso sacked. Thirdly, Real Madrid appoint new manager. And last but not least, a look into the future of this club. So without wasting any time, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight into this news episode. Because of course, the first story that we have to cover today, Barcelona and Real Madrid played each other on Sunday, the 11th, in the Spanish Super Cup final, and Real Madrid unfortunately lost that game 3-2. Barcelona are your Spanish Super Cup champions for the second season in a row. What are my thoughts on this game? I was not going to make a dedicated episode doing a review. As you can see on the channel, I didn't even do a preview of this match because I just had bad vibes. To be honest, I just had bad vibes. I didn't even talk about the Atletico game because I also had bad vibes in that match. And I'm not even going to say like I'm one of the people who, when we play well, that's when I record, that's when I post, that's when I say this. You know, if you check my channel, I've not been shy of criticizing this team when they don't perform, when they don't do what I believe is necessary. And to be honest, I think if for the YouTube, season 2 should be the YouTube when it began. I think my first video was actually explaining what the heck was wrong with the team at the time. So I am for surely not someone who's shying away from talking about how bad this team can be. But the reason I did not post episodes about the Atletico game and the Barcelona game is simply because I feel I was mentally drained. I told you guys when I took the 3-week break after the Christmas season, this festive season, and I didn't post for 3 weeks, I said that I needed a break to work on some things to get myself right for the new era of the channel, and then upcoming season 3. We'll be entering season 3 very soon, but no spoilers ahead. It's just going to be big. That's all you should need to know. And I said that if I have to make it as big as I want, I needed a break. I needed to regroup. That is also why I don't do certain episodes when I feel like I'm just going to be rambling about the same thing. I'm just going to be talking about how bad we are. And then every week it's how bad we are. Every week I'm just regurgitating the same points. I feel that doesn't provide value to you, the listener. It doesn't provide value to me who's making this. And it doesn't provide value to the club because there are no solutions. I am just highlighting what you were thinking. So I said I'll be able to make one episode dedicated to talking about what's wrong with us and then break it down in further reviews of games that we have that are either good or bad. So this El Classico, I just knew. I'm not even going to be one of those people who lie to you. I knew that this game would not be ours from when I watched the Atletico game, because in that game, 1, we looked too tired. 2, our tactics were just all over the field. 3, we were just playing the most haram football I have ever seen, because in that game, tell me why, I think for the last 20 to 25 minutes, we were just defending. We were just playing a low block after we made it 2-1 with Rodrigo. From there, we just didn't look the same. We looked slow. Sorloth and Alvarez having bad days and coming off in that game really helped us, because if they were on mark, if they were as good as they were when they beat us 5-2, if Griezmann was, still Griezmann of old, I think if we played like that and played that team, I would be making this episode talking about a Super Cup final between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, not us, because we would have been knocked out. We really only deserved to be in this final because of how bad Atletico were, that they didn't deserve to be in this. I feel that ideally, Barcelona, out of the 4 semi-finalists, that is Athletic Club, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, and themselves, I feel they showed that they won. They just deserved to win this one. It's not even something that, I can take away from. The game was just absolutely shambolic from us. We were good only, I think, maybe the first 20 minutes of the second half when they started letting us attack a bit. But from the word go in the first half, we were the ones at the back pedal. We were the ones just following their runs. Rafinha had chance after chance. He had a similar chance to the goal he actually scored, his first goal. It's just that he hit it a little bit wide, which was an amazing pass from Lamine Yamal. Rafinha gets it, just hits it a bit wide. Then he gets the goal. And I'm thinking, okay, it's the beginning, it's a little later than I thought they would score, but It's the beginning of what's going to be a destruction, a demolition, because we were playing like what I feared. I said to myself after the Atletico game, I said, if we come to play Barcelona like this, we will get destroyed. We will be humbled. We will be absolutely demolished. And we were showing signs of that. But then Vinicius Jr., I don't know where in the what you put that out from, but all I can say is it seemed to be deja vu, because Vinicius Jr., when we play finals, this man turns into a different beast. May not have been the Super Cup final of last season, may not have been the El Clasico, the El Clasico Copa del Rey final for the last season. But in his stretch as a Madrid player, this guy in finals, he is a big game player. And with that goal, an amazing golazo, gets it from the middle of the field, dribbles all the way through, absolutely shambolically, messes up Jules Koundé with that nutmeg, cuts away from Kubasi, hands it to the white post. Juan Garcia couldn't stop that. Amazing. This guy with that goal has now officially tied the record of most goals and assists in finals as a Real Madrid player. And let it be known that just two, I'll give you two of the names, because he has 16 now. I'll give you two names who also have 16 goals. One of them, you know him, you love him, is Karim Benzema. And another one who obviously was the name that pops up every time you hear goals in Real Madrid in the same sentence, it is Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, I want you to deep that. Vinicius Jr. came in 2019, and he didn't play any finals in 2019. Neither did I think he played a final in 2020, because I don't think we won anything apart from the league that season. So from 2021 until 2026, this is a 5-year period. This guy has matched the record, and I believe I can say will surely, if I'm a betting man, I'm betting on it. He will surely break the record of the most goals and assists in finals for Real Madrid of all time. This isn't of the modern era. This is of all time. So in that period, he is a big game player. He is our final player, and that's how it was going well. But then 2 minutes later, Pedri, moment of excellence, sends a lovely pass into Robert Lewandowski. Lewandowski makes it 2-1. And I said, okay, we were about to end the first half 1-1. But when I saw that, I said, okay, it's a sign. Barcelona versus us recently, the only thing I can say, I've stopped even crashing out about us losing. I've started crashing out because I feel it's unfair with the universe, how it's like pertinently clear when we are going to lose an El Clasico as opposed to them. Like with the 2-1. I came in with the vibes knowing that these guys are not idiots. These guys are not, fools. They know what was at stake in that first Classico in the league. That's why that was the only place I could put my confidence from. Not off form, not off how good we played, how bad they played. Is our team there? They have injuries. I didn't even care that they were missing Rafinha and Lewandowski. For me, I still thought we could lose even with that. Where I put my confidence of us winning that one from was that I believe these guys have revenge on their names. And if you go back and you listen to my previous episode on the channel, I said I don't feel confident coming into this one because they have that weight lifted off their shoulder. They are no longer carrying 4 victories on their back. They lost. So they had a reset, and they hit a reset button, and now they have come back with fresh minds, fresh tactics, and they outplayed us, and they were better. And I said this would happen, and I saw it. I saw the signs when Dowski scored. I said, this is about to be one of those games. But to my surprise, and to the luck of the draw, Lady Luck, thank you, because we end up getting a chance, bounces off the post. It's a very messy shot, and then Gonzalo Garcia scores, makes it 2-2 at halftime, and I believed. I said, maybe this is one of those funny games. Could it be? But then I started to watch the second half, and we were poor. We were absolutely shambolic. And then Rafinha, of course, gets his goal, and they ended up winning the game. We missed what I can only describe as one of the most open challenges you would wish for in a final, in the last minutes of a final, with Alvaro Carreras shooting it straight at Juan Garcia. I tell you, the universe is evil, because tell me, if that was not even Mbappe, even if I put Thibaut Courtois on that, I think he's scoring that goal. Alvaro Carreras, why is it him who is there? That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes life shows you you're not destined to win this. But unfortunately for us, this wasn't our day. We lost. But the rehash of that was interesting, because it leads into my second story immediately after Barcelona win the trophy. Yes, because the second story, Xavi Alonso, he It is now official. The communication message has been sent out on all Real Madrid media. It is official after what they call mutual discussions. Real Madrid and Xavi Alonso reached the agreement that this was the right time to resign for the manager. This was the time to end his stint as first team manager of Real Madrid. It is official. He is gone. Xavi has left. I said in the news at the start when I was giving them the headlines, I read it as sacked. Let us be clear. He was not sacked. The board did not come to him and give him that white envelope and say, pack your bags. The show's over. Send it back. Go back to Germany. We don't care where you go. Wish you the best. No. This was him coming out to the board and the board coming with him, and they had a mutual discussion, even though it's not always 100% mutual. It's like a breakup. Who broke up with who? Nah, I didn't break up with her. She didn't break up with me. It was a mutual breakup. No, there's always one side that wants an out. And I have a feeling that the side that wanted an out here was Xavi Alonso. Now, why I tied that previous point saying that their Classico win for Barcelona ties into this is because it builds a case. Let me tell you what I think. There's some reasons why Xavi Alonso has decided to leave. One, the big one, everyone will paint and the media will paint. Of course, he lost the team. It's just the truth. I don't like how it was painted as if it's this, like there was a coup that was happening within the team, but it is to some degree like that because he did lose the team. But I want to make a correction. He did not lose the team just because these players are cocky. It was a two-way thing. This was the mutual thing. He lost his tactics. He lost control of this team. Do not say that this guy, the team failed him. The team is there. You can do what you want with the team. Look at Arda Güler and Ancelotti. And let me make this point. Under Ancelotti, Arda Güler wasn't getting minutes. Endrick was even getting more minutes than him. He could have easily done the Endrick way and gone on loan, gone somewhere. But he waited it out. Ancelotti left, Xavi came in, and look at how he's spraying. Now, the reason I'm bringing this example is I'm showing you that when there's a team and there's a manager, anything can happen. Those are two independent bodies that have to find a way of colliding together to make success. So when you say he lost the team, you can have cocky players, but you can have a handsy flick. And that is where I'll raise the point. Look at Barcelona. Lamine Yamal, what's stopping, genuinely at the start of this season, what is stopping a Lamine Yamal from becoming the most cocky player on the planet? This guy's 18, finished second in the Ballon d'Or, won a treble, a national treble with Barcelona, a domestic treble, yes, with Barcelona. And then he had that amazing season, wins the Copa and ends the second in the Ballon d'Or, which I think no one was talking about it, but it's probably the first time in history and maybe even forever we'll ever see something like that in our lifetime. What is stopping that kid? He's already a Euro winner, two-time league winner, all these accolades. What's stopping him from being the cocky one? What's stopping him from, acting a little bit big-headed for his age that people will say? It's because he has a serious manager. We've seen it. We've seen time and time again. You're not fit. You're not training well, you're not acting right, Flick will bench you. It's simple. I said it, I think in a previous episode, I should have said, I really wish Xavi Alonso could stick to the tactics he came in. This guy said, I'm going to change things. With Ancelotti, I love him. I love what he was doing. I love when he coached me. But he was a little bit too, laxed towards the end of his stint here. He was a little bit too, gun-ho later. I need to bring tactics. This team needs correction. It needs discipline. That is what we were lacking, which was discipline, and he said he would bring it. He came in. I'll give an example. This guy came in and said, after every training session, before, come in, train, you leave. Now, you come in, you train, and he said we're dedicating 6 hours to film study. So for those of you who don't know what that means, after every training session, he said we will have 6 hours, not just of training and being done. We watch our opponents, watch the best teams in Europe, see what they do, how we implement them, how we can mesh that with our team. A very good tactic. See that? Tell me why within 2-3 months, it was dropped to an hour and a half. 6 hours dropped to an hour and a half. He started to lose his own tactics. And then he lost his identity. He stopped being who he came in. He came in, made all these claims, said, I'll make sure that this team, that the fans, the Madridistas of the world, they are proud and happy to call this their Real Madrid. He lost that vision. And when you see that, this is now where I tie it to say that these are two separate entities that need to work together, and that is why he lost the team. When you lose that confidence, when you start to lose your tactics, when you start to falter to the things that they want, how are they supposed to respect you? And then you add the Vinicius Jr. situation, which to some degree, I still believe the media blew up even way more out of proportion than it was. I feel Vinicius Jr. was just in a position where it's a naturally, he's naturally inclined to be in that position. After all I've done for this club up to that point, being their guy, even with Bellingham coming in, I still managed to be that guy. I still finished higher in the Ballon d'Or. I was the one the club pushed. And then you signed Mbappe, who pushes me a bit to the second fiddle. And then I have a coach who's removing me from games even when I play well at times. So it was a natural thing. And then when I saw that they started fighting, I said, this guy will be out, because I believed that they would side with Vinicius for making it like drawing lines, this side, that side. I did believe the club would side with Vinicius on this one. And they did ultimately, because we have seen it. Vinicius Jr., when he didn't want to renew his contract, there were reports coming in that he said he still didn't hold on to renewing his contract because he wanted to see what would happen with Xavi Alonso. That is what I'm talking about. This team, I said it in a previous episode, I said, this is not Leverkusen. I said, this is not Leverkusen. And by the way, it's a problem that I have with his Spanish namesake who was on our rival side, Barcelona, Xavi. Not Xavi Alonso, Xavi Hernandez. At a certain point, he also needed to realize that he was coming in from managing that Qatarian team that he was managing to Barcelona. Those are a raise of standards. Those are a raise of stakes. So he needed to start doing big game management. There's a difference. Managing, Brighton, Leverkusen, to some degree Dortmund, all these other higher to mid to higher mid-table teams, what I mean. It's different managing them to managing a Barcelona, to managing a Bayern, to managing a City, managing a Liverpool, and of course, I think would be the highest, managing a Real Madrid. Not because I'm not even saying because I do think we're the best, of course we are, but I'm not talking about it in that sense. I mean it's harder because here, you're in a club, Perez, we all know I think everyone in Europe knows how he works. It's results-based, Nobody's bigger than this club. And unfortunately, he just lost the plot. I'm not even going to say he lost the team, he lost his bench, he just lost the plot. He just didn't have what it took. And you can see it, because I'll tie it back to now that El Classico. Apparently, there was a fan angle that was released, and people were tagging this like the breaking point. After Barcelona win the trophy, and everyone has got their medals, Madrid got their medals, they got their medals, they're, lifting the trophy, he calls the players in to do a guard of honor. And this is something that traditionally has been done in a Classical finals. Every time a team beats the other team, you have to do a guard of honor. You give them the respect, you walk them out, you say, okay, you beat us, fair, next time it's us, all that. You know what a guard of honor is. Apparently, he calls the players, and they start lining up. About 5 or 6 players start lining up. And then Mbappe and Rodrigo, he calls them and says, let's go do the guard of honor. This is what we have to do. And apparently, Mbappe says no. Not straight to his face. He doesn't say no, get out of here. No, he just refuses to do it. Says, we're not doing this thing. And he tells the players, let's go. We're not giving these guys a guard of honor. And then about 4 players Fran, I think Gonzalo Garcia, Carreras, they start to follow him. And the team starts following him, and we didn't put the guard of honor up. And you can see it when you watch the video. Go back and watch that video. Search for it. You can see it in Xavi's face when he realizes, these guys just don't respect me. There's just no respect. There's no mutual respect between the two of us. And it's fair dues to him, because he knew it. He could see it. And this is why I respect him. I have a feeling he's the one who went and said, you know what? This will not work out. I believed I could do this, but this will not work out. So unfortunately, Xavi Alonso has left the club. I would not say he was sacked. I refuse to say that. Out of respect for him, I cannot say it. And out of respect for the truth, because let's be honest, he was not sacked. Some people will paint it as that. I saw some people saying, no, he came to the club complaining, and then Perez told him, the door's that way. No. I don't think it was like that. I think he sat down with the board and said, this is not working out on both ways. And then Perez, how Florentino Perez is. You tell him you want an out, he'll give you an out. He won't beg for anything. If you come looking like you don't want the team even 2%, he'll chase you out. Right now, if Mbappe went to Perez and said, I think I have to go just because I don't think I'll win a Champions League here, I'm telling you, 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now, you see it. Fabrizio Romano posted, Mbappe's out. That's just how Perez is. So I think that's how ultimately it went down. But I do wish him the best in his future endeavors. I wonder where he'll go. Hopefully where he goes, he's learned enough from this, because this was sending him from, G League straight to NBA, managing the Lakers type of like prime Lakers, prime Bulls. So hopefully from this, he's gained enough experience that at his next job, he will have, control of everything and know what to do. But I have to focus on us now. And the news with us is that almost, I think, immediately after Xavi Alonso was removed, I started rambling. Oh, who could be our next coach? Ooh, is Zidane gonna drop the France job and come back for that third run now? Because he already came back. Oh, are we going to find some? Is Jurgen Klopp gonna come out of retirement and say, "Ha, tricked you, Barcelona. I want Real Madrid"? I was shocked almost immediately after we signed a new manager. And yes, of course, people, I am talking about Real Madrid's newly appointed manager, Alvaro Arbeloa. I hope I said that name right. This is a funny one for me because with this guy, it's a 50-50. I didn't know anything about him. Apparently, he was the manager for our B team. But with me, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed because I don't believe this guy, first of all, is staying long. I'm giving him, I'm not even meaning this in a harsh way. I'm giving him that lore. I'm giving him that underdog story. Prove me wrong, Arbeloa. Please prove me wrong because I do not believe in you. Personally, I do not believe in him. And I'll give you some reasons why. One, if you think that Xavi Alonso, because first of all, I'm going to pause and say this. When it comes to a manager, if you want to be respected, if you want to be seen as, someone of class in the managerial world, you need one of two things. And the best of the best, they have both. Either you come into, I'm talking about my club, either you come to our club with a managerial CV that is amazing, that is astronomical, and you cannot touch it, or you are a class player. Your career, your player career, your CV as a player career, same as your managerial on the other side. It has to be great. It has to be, you can't knock it. You were one of the greats. I'll give you some examples. Ancelotti, player career. If I ask most kids now, they will probably say, oh, he even played football. See, don't really know that much. But his managerial career coming into Madrid, especially the second second run, we knew what we was getting. It's Don Carlo. He wins everywhere. He wins. It's his thing, Pep, he at Barcelona, when he was being signed to their first team, they didn't know he didn't have any managerial experience. They could have gone with Jose Mourinho, but look at what he has as a player. He was smart. He was like a disciple of Johan Cruyff. He showed that he knew the game enough that he could lead us to playing great football. Jose Mourinho, player career, 50-50. Managerial career, look at that resume. A lot of people will laugh at him now, but that guy is still one of the top managers of the world. These are examples I'm giving you. But if you think that as Real Madrid, with this guy, Xavi Alonso, whose coaching career was just Leverkusen and the amazing stuff he did there, he built up a great CV. Undefeated, invincibles, beating out Bayern Munich, who were on an 11-year winning streak in the Bundesliga. That showed class. If he did that, and then he still had a player career that was so beautiful. Champions League winner, club legend for Real Madrid, club legend at Bayern Munich. Spain, I think he was in that World Cup winning team and the Euro winning team at that time. So he had the player CV of a lifetime. One of the most talented midfielders you can watch comes in to this team and has failed to get the full respect of the players. Players like Mbappe, players like Vinicius, players like Rodrigo, players like Valverde at times, players like Jude Bellingham. How the hell am I supposed to even fathom the idea that Alvaro Arbeloa, let me read his name, Alvaro Arbeloa, my bad. Where am I supposed to fathomably believe that this guy will come into my team with experience managing the kids of these players and get their respect immediately and start implementing tactics that will not falter and then start playing the football that he wants to play with this team and control the team and, enforce the truth and enforce tactics and enforce his will and not be disrespected? Tell me. I'll wait. Somebody tell me how. Tell me how that's going to happen. I know what we're thinking. You're trying to make that Pep Guardiola, huh? Get somebody from your B team. I already explained why Pep Guardiola was seen that big. They saw what he did with the Barca B. They saw what he did as a player. I don't even want to research. I'm just going to make an assumption that I don't even think this guy was a football player. If he was a football player, it speaks for itself that I didn't know that. I definitely have never heard his name ever. I think I know another player named Arbeloa. I thought it was him. Not him. This guy is a different guy. Where are we supposed to get this from? Tell me, where am I as an analyst of this team and a fan of this team, a guy who loves this team, supposed to believe that Arbeloa is now just going to magically come in, going to change everything up, going to make tactics? Because that's the one thing I'll give Xavi Alonso for. If you look at end of Ancelotti, start of Xavi Alonso, there are tactics. There was some form of, I watch this team and I can see some things, mostly because he just knew one thing that Ancelotti started to, go crazy for, which is actually knowing positions, which I could say was the one positive thing I don't think you can knock down. I say when I talk about tactics, we didn't have the best tactics. That's not a lie. But at least people had positions. We didn't have left backs coming into the mid. We didn't have midfielders. Injuries and other things made him start playing things like Valverde at right back and Tchouaméni at center back, which is some Ancelotti looking. So I didn't like that. But he did have tactics. He did have formation play. He did want to play a form of something I unfortunately didn't get to see all the way through. But this guy, how is he going to just start implementing all these new things and take control? What happens when he's in a game and the same Xavi Alonso thing happens? He just feels, personally, he's in a game or playing Getafe. It's not maybe the best game. And Vinicius Jr. is dropping a 2025 Vinicius Jr. type of stinker. And then he's just off his mark. He's just bad. And I've got Arda on the bench here. I've got Master Antoine on the bench. I have someone who I can put in. I can put in Gonzalo Garcia and move Mbappe to the left. Anything. I could sub this guy out. How is he going to do that and deal with the repercussions? Who is he? That's the question they're going to ask. Who are you? Vinicius Jr., Mbappe, Bellingham, Valverde, Courtois, everyone. Who are you? Who do you think you are? Which is disrespectful, and I hope that these players, because I'm going to use this word lightly to describe them just out of a bit of frustration of what they've done to Xavi Alonso, these foolish boys, because they are acting like foolish boys. These cocky boys, how are these cocky, foolish boys going to listen to you, going to now treat you like you're the guy? They don't even know what club you've managed. Some of them probably learned that you were their B team manager, because I know not all of those players follow. I know Kylian Mbappe ain't following on Real Madrid Junior's team. I know he ain't. So he probably didn't know you. He probably just heard your name and he'll be like, okay, I guess he'll tell me what to do now. No, you're not. And that's why I'm giving you the underdog story. And that is why I believe with this, and why I said I don't love mid-season sackings or departures of coaches, whatever you want to call it. I don't respect it because I have written off this season. One, tell me exactly how Arbeloa is going to come with this team that's already being shambolic and, disorganized and win a Champions League against teams like PSG, who have Enrique, who's just furthering the good form that they were in from last season. We have teams like Arsenal, where Arteta has now finally seemingly found the European juice that he's put into this team, and they're actually looking like a fearing team. And I actually don't want to play Arsenal this time, which is a sentence I even hate that I have to think of. How are we going to beat Company, who's now starting to find a bit of a consistency with Bayern? He's knowing how to use his players. How are we going to beat Hansi Flick? I want to see that Mayo Classico. I want to see it. How are we going to beat a Hansi Flick team who now are in their second season of having consistent tactics and a manager who is seriously changing this team? How are we going to beat those teams? How? Tell me how with a new manager right now. We've got Champions League coming up. I think we have a game on Wednesday. How are we going to do this? The league. If he flukes out the league, that can happen. That's the only one I think is fathomable. He can fluke out the league where the team just plays well enough, but we don't really even see him do much, and Barcelona fumble it. That's the only way. So I have already written this off. I'll see him next season, but then that's the problem. If this is written off, I don't even believe this guy will be our manager next season. I believe he's doing like what Manchester United are probably going to do with whoever they have. I think it's Michael Carrick who's there now, or something like that. I'm not gonna act like I know who's there right now. But after Amorim got sacked by the team, the manager is probably just finishing the season, preparing for a new manager, and that's what I think Arbeloa is right now. Unless he is a diamond in the mud, he is an anomaly to football and just absolutely does a Pep Guardiola, wins almost everything in his first season here. But as of now, I don't believe that's happening. I don't trust him. I don't really believe. Not that I don't trust him because he's a bad guy. I just don't trust that he's going to be the guy, because you can't tell me that Xavi Alonso didn't work out, so we're going with someone even less experienced, even less known. It's just not. The numbers are just not adding up for me. So personally, that's where I think that's where I think this is going. And ladies and gentlemen, the final story, final headline is me giving a look into the future. I've already spoken about it, but I will say Champions League, whatever happens will happen. I do think we'll make it out. I do believe that we're still good enough of a team to finish in the top 8. I hope. We've got, what, 3 games left? 2 games left? We have to win those games. We have to continue. La Liga, we just have to continue. Barcelona, they've got their trophy now. We have to show them that, no, you've got your trophy. You ain't ending trophyless so far. You have to sit down. We have to keep pushing. I'm tired of this inconsistency. And now I don't even know what I can say because we have a new manager. So everything is going to be new come the next match week. It's just, it's a lot of everything with this club sometimes. But Champions League wise, we're still in a good position. Look at your blessings. Always look at your blessings. We're still in a good position. For all the times I complained about, I was about to call Ancelotti, Alonso, we have a new breath of fresh air. This is what some fans were asking for. Some fans were saying, I don't think this guy's the guy. Just remove him now when it's too late. We've removed him. So we'll see. It's a breath of fresh air. As much as I've given him the underdog story and saying, I don't believe in you, doesn't mean I think you're just already going to lose. He can shock me. Arbeloa can shock me. Feels gonna be weird. This is the 3rd manager in a row whose surname's ending with A. I don't know if that's like some Perez, niche that he's got right now. Ancelotti, Alonso, Arbeloa. I don't know what's going on here, but hopefully things are good in the future. But guys, if you did like this episode, if you did like this video, for those of you on YouTube, please make sure you leave a like. Please make sure, for those of you on YouTube, you comment, share this episode wherever you're listening from. It helps the podcast grow. If you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or listening from any other platform that is not YouTube, please follow the podcast. It helps me a lot. And if you are on YouTube, please, if you kindly will, subscribe to the channel, because I've said it, I'm trying to grow more subscribers so I can do even better things, even bigger videos, even bigger content for you guys. This was Madrid News episode. I was just breaking it down. There's a lot. I'm still, reading through stories. I'm trying to build the full case. I'm in detective mode right now. I'm trying to build the full case of the Xavi Alonso departure from our club. I am still sad. I'll be honest, at my core, I am sad because I had so much hope for this guy coming after what Ashley did. He had the Club World Cup, gave me some hope. I believed in him. I always knew, but I will say this. I won't even try and say it now because he's left, but I always knew he was never going to be the guy who puts us into history. But I knew, just like Xavi for Barcelona, I knew he was going to be I thought he was going to be the guy who reminded us that we are a big club that can compete at the highest of highest levels. But unfortunately, he's out. But what is not out is you guys from this channel and this video, because if you're still watching, thank you very much. Again, subscribe, follow, share, like, comment on YouTube. This was a very, very, very intense video, a lot to unpack. But hope for the best for Arbeloa, hope for the best for Real Madrid, hope for the best for all of you who are watching. Thoughts and prayers, love for watching this again. Peace.